and there's like a dragon with a thumbs up.
What? With an incline, we got 0 to 100 in. I am a cheap Chinese car expert. Not every cheap Chinese car is good. Take, for example, my GAC T9 that I bought. That was just a bad, cheap Chinese car. However, I've also owned the competitor to this thing right here, the Chery Tiggo 4 Pro, and I really, really liked that car. So imagine my surprise when GAC launched this. This is the GAC, not to be confused by the way with JAC, it's a completely different company. The GAC MZoom, and it's cheap, $25,590 before on-road costs, but that does mean it's about $1,000 more expensive than a top-of-the-range Chery Tiggo 4 Pro on the road. And I'll be honest with you guys, I actually thought this was gonna be poopy. I thought it was gonna be real poopy. The design looks good, it's got a nice enough interior, but the drivetrain I was genuinely worried about. However, I've got to say, I'm really impressed by this thing. Today I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about the GAC MZoom, this luxury trim. It's only coming in one trim, and why I might think this could be an RIP Chery Tiggo 4. Big words, I know. This thing is good. Let's talk about it. Let's start with the way that this thing looks. Frankly, I think it looks fantastic, especially in this blue paint. This is a very cheap Chinese car blue paint. You'll see it on cars like the Chery Tiggo 4 Hybrid that we reviewed, or the JQ J7. Yeah, this thing is a very Chinese color, but I really like it. It's just beautiful, like metallic sky blue. I like the daytime running lights. They've got a very cool jaggedy look to them and some pretty bright LED lights there as well. A very angular and aggressive grille with the G badge here. This is actually sold as Trump G in China. So that G is Trump G in China. But here, we're just calling it GAC. You've also got a bit of aero here. Now this engine doesn't need all that much cooling as you'll see, but it is quite open. So we'll talk about how that affects efficiency. But yeah, from styling up front, I think it looks good. Let's check out the side. In terms of length, this is very much a small car, 4,410 millimeters long. It's about 60 millimeters longer than that of a Chery Tiggo 4 Pro. So a little bit more, particularly in its bum. Check out these wheels though. I really like the design of them. So these are 18-inch alloy wheels, and they're wrapped in some tires I've never heard of before. Century with an S, and there's like a dragon with a thumbs up. You know, big ups to you. These tires are actually not as bad as I thought they would be. I really like these mirrors here. In fact, this car reminds me of the Dongfeng M Hero 917. That is a very, very cool car. You've got these pop-out door handles here as well. Of course, keyless entry and go. Roof rails up the top. You have your fuel filler cap here. Does it need 95? Let's take a look. No, it can take the 91. Awesome. Much like a Chery Tiggo 4, and that will save you fuel at the Bowser if you want to do it that way. And then there is the bump. Let's talk about that. By far, this is my favorite angle of the car. I just think it looks awesome. These taillights look so good. I love the geometricness of it. It is just a very funky design, and I'm all for it. You've got this almost ducktail spoiler here at the back. MZoom badge spelled out there. You've also got GAC spelled out there, and your Trump G badge there too. And then a very aggressive diffuser with some of the most hideous fake exhausts. Like seriously, you couldn't get much faker than that. No, it doesn't sound that great. Here's what the exhaust sounds like. And then you've also got this really aggressive spoiler at the top. I'm not sure if it does anything aero, but they do claim that this is 6.6 liters per 100 kilometers for its efficiency. So clearly it's not producing that much downforce. But what about practicality? Now, in terms of boot space, this thing on paper is actually quite disappointing. It's only 341 liters of boot space. If you drop the rear seats, you get 1,271 liters, but even then, that's good, but not incredible. You can drop this false floor just a little bit, and that should open up, well, actually quite a significant more amount of space, but it's still not quite as good as the 380 liters on a Chery Tiggo 4. But hey, you do get a space saver spare wheel, so eat your heart out pretty much every other competitor. That is impressive. And also a powered tailgate. That's impressive for this price point. Let's check out the interior. Alrighty guys, coming inside now, the GAC Emzoom. What's it like in the interior? Well, if you're familiar with the Chery Tiggo 4, you'll know that that has a really cool interior. Just seriously one of the best out there. And I think that this gives it a run for its money. Remember that this thing drive away is like $28,000. You have a panoramic sunroof that literally extends the length of the car. Ooh, I'm gonna close that, it's very bright. The design is also really nice. Soft touch materials absolutely everywhere. For what is a cheap economy car, it is a quiet cabin. Now, it doesn't have dual zone climate control like a Chery Tiggo 4, but it does have these really cool knobs. I really like to play with these knobs. just gotta apologize right there. With heaps of storage space, like seriously one of the most practical little cars out there. A couple of cup holders, little storage area for your phone, a fast Qi wireless charger with an air conditioning port so your phone doesn't overheat. Heaps of space under here. Got a 12-volt wacky. You've also got a USB-A port and a very oddly specific 27-watt USB-C fast charger. I guess it'll fast charge your iPhone, but nothing much more than that. These seats, I actually really like them. They're quite supportive, don't have any adjustable under thigh support, but I haven't found myself being like, I need this right now. There is no heated seats in this, but the driver's seat is cooled, which is great on a really hot day like today. I think Australia actually needs more cooled seats though. Really, it should have heated seats as well, I think. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. This steering wheel feels absolutely fantastic to hold in the hands, like really nice. It's actually quite logically laid out as well. Very easy to use. Up in front of you, you get this digital instrument panel, which shows enough information. It's not gonna blow you away. It looks kind of cheap and nasty by 2026 standards, but about what you would expect at this price point, really. This display though isn't. This is a really good display. Wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto. It is massive, 14.6 inches to be precise. Just super snappy and responsive. Really good 360 camera as well. Yeah, one of the things that China absolutely nails is just pumping in tech, and this display is mega. By the way, shout out to keeping physical controls. Shout out to you, GAC. Please don't remove them. That is awesome. You have a nice soft center armrest with heaps of storage space in there as well. Open this glove box and you got heaps of space in there too. Big door bins as well. Now, the sound system, it might have metal grating on it, but it does not sound very good. This DTS, and I'll let you guess what DTS stands for in the comment section. Well, DTS is not great in this car. It just doesn't sound that great. Overly processed, not very good, but about what you would expect at this price point. But definitely if you are looking for a cheap car with a great sound system, a Mahindra 3XO, it has an epic sound system at this price point. Actually, it's cheaper than this. So keep that in mind as a competitor too. Let's check out the back seats. Alrighty guys. Back seats now of the GAC Emzoom, and holy shit. All right, the space back here is insane. I'm 5'11". I've got literally acres of legroom. Tow room as well is fantastic. Headroom as well is incredible. Like, if you need a small SUV that has a lot of space and practicality in the back, I don't think there is a better car at this price point. This is scratchy materials, but this is at least all nice and soft. You get the weird single air vent. I hate this. Yes, it pumps air into the back. At least you get one, but really you're just gonna have each side fighting over who gets the air vents. Also only one USB-A port, which sucks if you have kids. It means that you might be fighting for the charger as well. You get a couple of map pockets up top for phones, I guess, and a bigger map pocket just down below that. These seats, it's actually pretty damn comfy. I like these a lot. Pull down this soft center armrest. That feels very good. You get a couple of cup holders there as well. So I'm gonna be honest with you guys, mega impressed with the back seats. I think this has the best back seats in class. Like the space back here, comfortability, it is really good. Maybe it is worth paying $1,000 more than competitors. Well, maybe you don't have to pay $1,000 more than competitors. That's right, we have our car buying service, CarSauce Buy. If you want to buy any new car in Australia and you want the absolute best price possible, just Google CarSauce Buy. We have a dedicated team of car buyers who go out there, throw punch dealers to get you the best price possible on any new car you could want. Best of all, it is a completely obligation-free service. You don't have to pay a cent until you have decided you want to actually purchase the car. So join our thousands of happy customers who have used CarSauce Buy. Scan the QR code on your screen now, or just Google CarSauce Buy, and our team will take care of you. All right, let's talk about the engine. Okay, so what about the engine? Let's be honest, engines for Chinese cars are usually their downfall. Chinese car manufacturers do EV stuff really well. Plug-in hybrids, great. Hybrids, pretty great as well, with the exception of one company starting with M. But anything that is powered purely by dinosaurs exploding typically is not that great. And this engine I was quite worried about. A 1.5 litre 4-cylinder turbo petrol engine with class-leading outputs, 125 kilowatt of power. That is actually quite good. And 270 newton meters of torque. Again, that is also quite good. And it sends all of that power through to my biggest fear, the 7-speed wet clutch dual clutch. Dual clutches are really hard to do. They're great for sports cars like a Porsche 911, right? But for anything else, it takes a lot of skill to make a transmission that is actually good. And as you're about to find out, this transmission is not actually all that good. But this engine is a bit of a perler. Let's drive it. All right, it's time to launch the GAC MZoom. Now, when I launched my Tiggo 4, the non-hybrid version, just the regular one, it got 0 to 100 in 10.66 seconds. To be fair to this, even though it has more power and more torque, we are on a slight incline. So let's see what it will do 0 to 100. We have our specialist timing gear right here. Let's launch it and see how quick it is. Put in sport mode, we're in. Brake boosting, here we go. Gentle start. Come on. Picks up though. My foot is flat to the firewall. What? So, okay, with an incline of 3%, so actually quite a lot, we got 0 to 100 in 10.69 seconds, again, 3% slope. So actually, this thing did pretty well. And in a straight line, it is definitely faster than a Chery Tiggo 4. Not crazy faster, but it is faster. All right, let's drive this thing normally. Alrighty, driving the GAC Emzoom. I want to show you the bad first, and that really is this thing's transmission. So here's the worst case for a dual clutch. It's when you're going up an incline in reverse, you come to a stop, keep it in reverse, so the car shouldn't roll forward. We just rolled quite a lot forward. So yeah, this is the thing about this transmission, especially at slow speeds, it's not very good. It's actually quite a bad 7-speed dual clutch. To be fair, at this price point, they're all kind of bad, even in a Skoda Kamiq, which has the famous or infamous Volkswagen dual clutch, which has been refined over like 2 decades. Yeah, this is even a little bit worse than that. So I don't love that. Getting the bad out of the way, this thing is not the greatest at slow speeds. However, what happens when you're a bit faster and you put this thing into sport mode? Well, it's actually quite a bit of fun. First of all, it is seriously chuckable. And it's actually quite peppy as well, like actually relatively quick. You know, this thing is putting out what cars would have put out 20 years ago as warm hatches or even hot hatches. This is not far off a Mark V Golf GTI in terms of its power output, so it's kind of impressive for $28,000 drive away. The other thing I thought would absolutely suck is the ride quality. Typically speaking, cheap Chinese cars have terrible body control. And while no, this isn't great, although the tires have been really overinflated. It's sitting at 42 PSI, should be about 33 PSI. But even with that, it's actually got quite a good ride to it. Definitely not the most composed thing in the world, but body roll is relatively minimal. The secondary ride, or when you don't actually activate the suspension, is not stiff and firm and disgusting. And when you do activate a bump, this thing is genuinely well dampened, like surprisingly so. And you can see here, you know, we're going through some twisties, we turn a corner, this thing is relatively flat, which is just shocking to me because Chinese cars typically, they're not very good. Fuel economy as well. I've actually been averaging 7.1 litres per 100 kilometres. So again, quite impressive. In my Tiggo 4, a car I really enjoyed driving because it was frankly so chill, well, I was getting over 8 litres per 100 kilometres for the same 1.5 litre displacement of engine. So yeah, this thing is actually quite fuel efficient. It's got enough punch. In fact, it's really peppy, and also it handles weirdly really well. If I had to complain, it would be definitely that transmission. It does not feel very good, but also the steering, you know, it's vague. It's like Chinese car vague. What do I mean by that? It's heavy, but it doesn't have much preciseness to it. Even here in sport mode, it just feels so artificially wrong. Not right. While also having a massive dead spot in the center, and then you go too far, and it moves a lot. So the progressive steering of this could definitely be fixed. But really, for 99% of people out there, I don't think they are going to give a flying f***, because everything else, apart from the transmission, it just does so well. The other thing I was pleasantly surprised by was actually the adaptive cruise control and lane centering. This thing will drive itself down a road, and it's not annoying about it as well. It hooks you up into the center of a lane, keeps you a good distance from the car in front of you. That has actually been well tuned. Doubt it's been tuned for Australia, but it's certainly got a good global tune to it nonetheless. Yeah, overall, I'm mega impressed by this thing. Didn't think I would be. Having driven a lot of cheap Chinese cars, usually they screw it up monumentally. This is an incredible first attempt. Like, really, really impressive. And I didn't think it would be. GAC is not even that loved in China. It's kind of seen as the Toyota of China, but not necessarily in terms of reliability, just by affordability, but still, I don't know, guys. I think this does drive better than a Tiggo 4. Let's get into our final thoughts. Okay, so should you buy a GAC Emzoom? Well, from a Chinese car expert, I have to say I am really really impressed by this thing. I didn't think I would like it this much, but I think it's priced well. You get a lot of features. It's got a really cool design. I like the interior. Practicality is also pretty okay, and it doesn't drive as bad as I thought, though around town that dual clutch is definitely going to struggle. Still, I can definitely recommend it. I think it's really good, and if you want to buy one, you want the best price possible, Google CarSauce Buy. Our dedicated team of car buyers will help you get the best price possible. But let me know as well in the comment section, what do you think of the GAC Emzoom? Are you going to rush out to buy one over a Chery Tiggo 4 or Mahindra 3XO? I don't know, guys. I'm super duper impressed. Ciao for now.